Good morning, everyone at the Illustrious. This is Jen and Erin, and we are having our little Monday morning show. So if you're not currently at the Illustrious One's business page, come on over there and you can see the show and comment on what we're talking about. Hello, Erin.
Good morning, Jen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
It's Monday. But
Oh, it's
today
so
I
funny.
actually feel like I'm ready to hit it. Last week was a struggle.
Oh my goodness, was it ever a struggle? I think it was last Monday. It just kind of came about that I was just like, wow, this is an intense amount of feelings. And I started sharing about it in our Illustrious Ones Facebook group. And if you're not already in the group, you should come on over because we are always supporting in there in different ways, like for business owners in your spiritual growth as well as your business growth. So, there's lots of different options for collaborating and expanding your business through different connections you can make there. But I dropped some information in not even me. It was really our collaborative just like came around and we were all just sharing the stories that we were experiencing last week. And it was an intense one, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. I usually don't have too big of a sensitivity to the shifts and the full moons and the rotations of the planets. I mean, I'm aware
Yeah.
of them, but last week was something like I've never experienced before. Like it
Yeah.
was tough getting out of bed. It was tough having a full, like, complete sentence. It
Yes.
was tough, like, keeping on, like, all the tech things last week, all things that I knew were on my calendar that completely disappeared off my calendar. And like, you know, how many people are sick, like physically sick and got sick last week? Like, what?
Yeah, it was extreme, like across the board. And it's not just like it doesn't affect everyone the same way. I mean, we all are kind of built up of different energies and it's going to affect us all so differently. But yeah, no, it was it was it was heavy duty, right? And what I felt the most was that okay, so we are in a time where the veils are thinner. And for a person like me who I can connect very easily to spirit guide, I haven't for some time now, so I've just sort of come away from that part of my life. It's more like I've been on a sabbatical from being spiritual, like in that sense. Uh, but that was a time for me to just really sit back and witness. But I started getting more information back in, and the information was, you need to be 100% true to what it is that you're doing. But also, if there sort of seemed to be a dark mist in my life that I was not fully able to connect and understand exactly where my place was. So it was just distorting everything. And once I ripped that off, I was like in full truth mode. And I wasn't able to do anything that was not aligned with who I am and my soul. And so that really started changing everything. And it's like I just had to stop and sit and watch. And I feel like a lot of people ended up in that same kind of situation where they just watched and wanted to take in and now reevaluate why they were doing it, how they were showing up, and what they were going to do next, like those next steps. So that's what I kind of gathered from reading many different posts, not just mine, but yeah.
Yeah, Roz is joining us from South Australia. Hi, good morning for us and good evening for you, honey. She's like, it's the last hours of Monday for her. It's nice to see you. Did you feel the energy of last week, Roz? I'm wondering if it hit the people in South Australia the same as it did here in North America.
Well, and right. they're having Beltane down there it's the I guess the Wiccan opposite to Samhain, which is our Halloween, and they're not doing that. They're doing Beltane, I believe it is. So it's completely switched because they're in different hemispheres. What did she say?
Yes, I
I see
did.
she made a comment. What did she
Definitely
say?
did. Yeah, it's really strange how this particular, like, in another, like, the full moon was on the 23rd, 24th,
I don't
24th.
even know. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that in November it's on the exact same day next month. So it's like an entire 30 days later we hit another full moon, and I'm like, am I going to be recovered in 30 days?
Oh,
You know,
sorry.
and it's funny because I think that there was so much interaction on that post about how people were showing up, and some people were like on fire, like couldn't even like stop the flow of information, the challenges and the developments and the creativity that they were having, and other people couldn't even get out of bed. Like, it was polar opposites for a lot of people, and total off the norm for everybody. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roz says she thinks there is also some retrogrades happening with the planets and alignments as well. I think you're right,
Yeah.
Roz. Um, I don't know. Last week, I couldn't even make my eyeballs focus on stuff last week. Like, could
Yeah.
not. Like, it was like I would get this, like, pond scum. Like, I kept feeling like I needed windshield wipers, to scrape my eyeballs off so I could see last week.
Oh, yes. And like I just kept seeing it as a dark mist because it's like you're awake, like you know what's happening, like we're spiritually awake people,
Yeah.
but that mist sort of just seemed to envelop, and without clearing it away and trying to actually see through it, it's like you would spend another lifetime just living in something and doing things in a way that maybe isn't even aligned for you. And that's just what it kept showing me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was like that for most people, but that's definitely where I ended up.
Yeah. Roz says she was super tired as well with the out of focus happening on the brain. Yeah, like it was, for me, it was horrible because I usually am right on, snapping, lots of ideas, lots of clarity with clients, ease of, like, I don't ever really have a problem with my calendar. I don't miss appointments. I'm never late, like even a minute late. I'm just not. That's not me. And last week was a total different story. Like, all the way around. I'm like, who is this person?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but you also had some revelations. I know that I did, and I've asked around, and many people were saying that they had revelations during this time about, it could be small, and that's usually how they come in, right? Just small little, hey, just tweak this.
Yeah.
Hey, you weren't really thinking about this. And also when we kind of completely stop doing things and just give ourselves that grace, we end up getting the best ideas
Yeah.
because we're not overworking our brain. And that's when you get those brilliant, oh yeah, I forgot. That's how I actually wanted to be doing all of this. And you can kind of come back to the path that you were on before and probably got derailed thinking you had to go and do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. And it's funny because last week was not a good week for being off my game either. It's not like you have a choice. However, all the, like, I think I had last Saturday, a week ago Saturday, I had two speaking events. Talk about not fun.
Oh.
Yeah, like the wrong thing. And I've had multiple things during the week that I had to show up at, and I had to be on the money, and I had board meetings, and I had, right? Like, you need those events, you just really need to be on the mark. right?
Oh yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm moving out of screen here.
Yeah. And what's Rod saying? She's like, it's the moments we need to take to breathe. Relax the brain cells, let the soul speak to the body. Amen, Rod. Ah, that's absolutely beautiful. I know, like one of the things that I found, I mean, I love taking like Epsom salt baths and like floating my rose quartz in there with me and some essential oils for support and but it's rare that I get a quiet house and I can sit in there as long as I want and
Nobody bugs you.
like comes in the bathroom when you're in the bathtub, right? Those are people that got kids, like, really? When does it stop? Like, when do the kids stop coming into the bathroom? At what point? I just really want to
Yeah.
know because my son's almost 13 and he still comes in the bathroom. I'm like, buddy, like, get out.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, float tank is perfect, Roz. I know there's one in the town next to us, and it is such a treat to go. And if do you have float tanks by you, Jen? Do you know what those are?
They're all the way in Halifax, which is 5 hours away. I'm sure I could find something closer, but I haven't yet.
I tell you, when you come visit me, I'll gift you one.
I've heard nothing but wonderful things about and it's just total sensory deprivation, and you just blah.
Yeah. And you float in like, I don't know, like 10,000 pounds of sea salt. Like you're completely buoyant in the water. You can't sink if you wanted to. Like you can the place that we go, I don't know about you, Roz, but we have it looks like an egg is one option. So like I don't know, like a tanning bed, but like you can raise your hands and not touch the top of the egg kind of thing. And your
Oh,
arms straight out and not touch the sides. It's huge. It's
okay.
huge, but it looks like a little clamshell. Shoop, up down. And you're like in this total sensory deprivation area, and oh my living, like the best ever. There are the place where we're at has two what they call pools. I call them baptism pools because that's what they look like to me. But they're
Yeah.
completely enclosed without a top. So it kind of looks like a bathroom with a clear shower door kind of on it, so you're
Yeah.
still enclosed, you're still in a dark space, you're still sensory deprived, you still are floating in the bazillion pounds of sea salt. And you're buoyant and you still get the experience, but oh my living, like there's nothing else quite like it that I've ever found. And I've like done a ton of those kind of things. But yeah, that's sad that yours isn't 5 hours away in Halifax.
Well, yeah, but we have this other really great place right on the ocean, and that's only about 45 minutes away. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my light, so I moved my camera. My window's obviously really bright, but they have saunas, hot tubs, and it's all set into the coastline. So you can go and jump in the water, the ocean. I don't know why you would do that, but some people are really weird like that. And then you can go up and do different saunas, like private saunas, little hot tubs, bigger hot tubs, and they just have this whole thing. And I did go down there once, and they had like a donkey, a pet donkey that hangs out, and it was just really. It was really cool because it was set into this beautiful coastal valley, and yeah, you have to pay like $40 per person, so nobody's bringing their kids there.
Oh,
No, no, that's a couple's kind of like getaway. And yeah, I definitely want to go and spend some time there. I haven't gone without the kids yet, but
yeah. Yeah, there's this the same town over that has the salt float. Across the road is this like really, really ritzy hotel, like really ritzy hotel. And they
yeah.
actually have a salt pool.
Oh, nice.
You can
Yes.
go swim in the salt pool and they open it up for rehab. Like a lot of people that are rehabbing for whatever will go and rehab in the salt pool.
Oh,
It's really
nice.
cool. Yeah. They also have an oxygen bar at that ritzy hotel.
That sounds like fun.
I know you can't smoke in the oxygen bar.
Nope. Can you imagine?
Yeah, but they do all kinds of crazy like mixology concoctions in the oxygen bar, like with all kinds of nitrogen and like all these like crazy, I don't know, science drinks. I don't know what you call them. Good morning, RJ.
Hello, RJ.
Early for her. So what else is going on for you? Like, how was your weekend? Like, you recovered pretty quick from
I did, because I was just like, okay, if this is the way it's going to be, I'm going to just run with it. So I actually purchased a new program because I'm tired of paying monthly fees for absolutely everything, it seems like now. And I don't know why this is happening in our world, but it is. Everything is a monthly payment. Drives me nuts. And I'm like, okay, when did it stop where we could just buy something and use it? Like, why is the thing now? But anyways, I purchased the Affinity Photo Editor. So it's a Photoshop style editor, but you pay money for it and then you get to keep it, and that's it. So this one, oh no, I left it upstairs, but it came with like a textbook, which is fabulous for me, because watching video tutorials can really, I don't know if it for everybody it's like that, but it's kind of like, okay, a video tutorial, and then it's sort of like, it's just, I don't know, something between my hands, and I can just sit there and read it, and I don't need to be plugged in, staring at a screen once again, kind of driving me nuts. So I just read through that textbook. Yeah, it is a pain. Just looking through that textbook and like, oh yeah, that's how you do that. Because number one, without the instruction just telling me to do that, I'm literally just like, okay, I'm not really sure how to change these photos up, and I'm not sure how to, make them look amazing like they do look like in beautiful photography books or on websites. So anyways, I'm getting an education in how to actually make wicked cool photographs, and I'm excited about that.
That's cool. Ross says there's actually real manuals and print still out there.
I know, right?
That's amazing, right?
Well, they're like, oh, here, grab the book. So it tells you absolutely everything you need to know. And I'm like, no, I'll pass. I got videos. There's tutorials. I checked. And then they sent me a 40% off coupon. I'm like, well, yeah, probably should grab this. And so I think for under $100, all in, book and program, I'm set now. And I don't have to pay another penny except for graphics that I do buy that from Adobe, but I need those. I need fresh graphics that are really great. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know that you and I love new things. We love new programs. We love exploring options and tips and things that help us in, you do all that design work and all that creative stuff and and there's like program after program after program that it seems like it's like, holy crap, how many do you need? Right. And then on my end, it's like, well, geez, if you're going to do an online, if you're going to do an online course, like look at the list of things that are necessary to actually have a successful online course. Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So,
like truly a successful one is, it's easy to make a course, but a successful one with videos that people stay engaged with copy that people read through, and
yeah, it's nuts. I know that you just talked about your new cool thing, but because I'm freezing cold, have I ever showed you this?
It's just a cup. What does it say?
It is not
a
cup. It is called
Ember.
And
does it keep it warm?
Yeah, it's hooked directly to an app on my phone, so it's synced, and you can set you can set it. I would never have bought this for myself. My husband bought it
Yep.
for me. Because I drink hot beverages all year long, all summer long, all year long. I don't drink coffee any longer, but I drink tea and I drink hot water and I love hot chocolate. Um, just saying.
Yeah.
I steam my milk so my milk doesn't cool down my my tea or my hot cocoa. Um, but yeah, it has an app that controls it, and you set your app to whatever temperature you want your beverage to be all the time. So my perfect temperature is 133 degrees. And it knows when it's empty, and it knows when you put water in it. And it, like right now it's heating it up. Like I just put water in it and it's up. It's gonna like I gotta find the camera. It's gonna like just keep going up until it hits the perfect temperature, and then it'll say, your beverage has hit your preferred temperature. It is a heating cup, Roz. It's called an Ember, Ember, and it has a little recharging plate that goes with it. And seriously, like I keep a pitcher of water right on my desk here, and my goal is to drink that entire thing at least once or twice a day. I know you got your. I know. Yeah. And does it do Celsius? Yes, it does do Celsius. It does do Celsius. You program it the way you want it, and it'll talk to you the way you want it, Roz. It's really, really cool. Ember, Ember. And you can actually, it has a little light on it. I don't know if you can see. Let me find the camera. Right there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And you can actually program the light to be whatever color you want, and to change colors, like if you want it to be yellow when it reaches your perfect temperature. If you're yes, Ember, if your phone isn't by you, or you don't hear it go ding, your beverage is the preferred temperature. Like it gives you this cool little like notification. It's really kind of fun. Um, I know it's like the little things, right? And but yeah, that's like my fun little. I'm not super techy, but I love this mug. I love this mug. You can put it in the dishwasher, if you need to, and it seriously it just takes seconds to heat your water up to whatever preferred temperature it is. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Technology is so much fun though, right? Like, and I love technology where it's like where it's so innovative that it's actually helping your life and not, taking away from. So
I
cups that keep your stuff warm is very, very good.
Yeah, so that kind of keeps me going, and I don't have to run downstairs to my Keurig or my microwave or teapot.
Yeah.
You know, coffee. I don't use the coffee pot anymore, but I don't have to run downstairs to keep my tea warm anymore. I can just I warm it up and then I pour it in my favorite coffee cup, and
Yes, because I was going to say I've never actually seen you drink out of that cup, but there we go. You've got a system, eh?
they have a travel cup too, so it has a lid and it's higher. I know. And you can sync it with your car.
Uh,
I know. Can you imagine? Like, yeah, it's a travel cup with a lid, and you can sync it with your car. So it's kind of cool.
Awesome.
I know the little things that make you happy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Actually, talking about that, I just filmed a vlog, whatever, that I'll probably try and push out next week. But my friend is a soap and salve maker. She also makes lotion. Like my favorite face lotion comes from her.
Oh,
Part of
cool.
the reason why I even started buying her products is because I am allergic to everything that you would possibly think about putting on your body. And because of that, I actually, like years ago, I started making my own deodorant out of just coconut oil and arrowroot powder and baking soda. And it was pretty basic. You just whip it in your blender, or I mean, the mixer.
Yeah.
And then that way,
Like
that's how I had
hand
deodorant.
mixer?
Yeah, like I have a tabletop one, but yes, just a hand blend, any kind of hand blender. And, so just from different stuff, I've learned, how to actually have my own body products until I could find somebody else that made them. And I ended up finding her, and her deodorant was fabulous. So I just buy it from her because it's so much easier and I don't have to muck around. But
You can drop her link in here because I only use natural deodorant also.
oh yeah, and hers is fabulous. And I will be actually creating this blog, and her links will all be in there. And it's actually skinpotionnaturals.com, I believe.
Ooh, cool.
Yes, Skin Potion. Yeah, no, I think I've put away all my stuff. But on our blog, we were talking about just creating that staple lotion for your house and home, and for your kids and yourself. And you can make it in big batches, but how to get that beautiful texture, those things are secrets that we kind of know because we spent so much time making our own body products. And just things like, we're so geeky like that, but it's like on this witchy edge, even though I'm not a witch, I collect leaves from the trees and like cedar, and I soak it in oil, and I'll long steep it, and I'll go put it away, and I'll bring it back out, and so even I went and collected rose hips. And they're all nice and dry. I leave them out long enough on the tree that the sun dries them out for me, so I don't have to do that. I just go and wildcraft them. But then if I just dump oil over this, just up to the top, that's going to pull, and I could leave it for months, just turning it in a warm spot, and it'll pull out all the nutrients. And like this stuff's full of vitamin C, and it actually like really regenerates your skin. And then
rose oil is like the best for like flaky, dry skin. It's amazing for pimples. It's amazing for age spots. It's amazing. I mean, rose oil is like the go-to top of the line ingredient. Like every single superstar ever uses rose oil, hands down.
yeah. And that what you're talking about is a little different. I think they're pressing the petals in rose oil, and this is just the leftover hip. So it's called a rose hip, and it is from the exact same plant.
Yeah.
But those same qualities come out. So you're not getting that smell, that beautiful smell, but you do get the properties. And so in the wintertime, I definitely put this in my lotions because it is so regenerative. And then stuff like frankincense, which is cell restorative. And then even if you just like, if you're making a nice beard oil from this, you just put in like, your cedars, or, even just a soaked cedar branch in, the green parts, and some oil is the exact same thing. And you can infuse your lotions with that. So I'm going to try and drop that next week because it was fun to film. And it's just that kind of thing that I do in my life that makes me feel like I'm rich, like buckets of gold rich everywhere, just because I make lotion. Like, I don't know, it's just ridiculous, but that's where I'm at.
It's funny because my son, will not use store-bought deodorant. Will not. He's like, Mom, that causes cancer. It's proven. I'm not using it. I don't care. I'm not a girl, but it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy. It still causes cancer. It's right there. But like, he goes into this whole dissertation on why he will not use deodorant.
Yep.
So
I'm there with you, Huts.
I know. Me too. Me too. Yeah. So he got on this kick earlier this year in the spring, like maybe even before then, about soap. And he's like, why do we buy soap? He goes, there's so much crap in it, Mom. Like, and he goes into this whole, again, just total Mr. Science on me. And all the reasons that you shouldn't buy store-bought soap and you should make your own soap. So we started making our own soap. just oatmeal and lavender, right?
Okay. Yep.
With almond, whatever, almond soap base.
Okay. Yep.
I don't even know if it's right, but it's better than the stuff it's better than the oil Valet bar or the Zest bar or whatever.
Yeah. I can't even have those in my house because I'm so allergic to perfume that I can't breathe around it. So I actually just use Castile soap and I have, those foaming hand pumps
Mm-hmm.
and I just refill them.
Yep.
So I only ever buy Castile, just liquid, and the kids are just used to that for the shower.
Yeah.
So I totally get it, Hudson. If you're out there, I know you're at school, but
He would be going, "Why are you talking about me on your show, Mom?"
because number one, because kids are so sensitive to what is in their environment,
Yeah.
and we're kind of used to it. I'm not personally. I was so freaking allergic to it. But when I was a kid, I was like, what's going on? Like my skin's covered in eczema and like I couldn't ever, I felt uncomfortable all the time. I was always itching and my skin just hurt. And so even my shampoo, I'm down to using baking soda and apple cider vinegar because shampoo makes my head hurt.
Yeah. Have
And
you ever used like tea tree or
yeah,
melamine is the plant name for it? Have you ever used
yeah.
that for your hair?
I don't use it like neat, but I put it in like every single lotion would have some in there. Yeah. And I don't put it in my soaps because then it sticks to my sink and then that's like extra work for me. But
Yeah. I know.
maybe make it easier.
It's a trade-off, isn't it? Like it's such a trade-off to not. What do you do for laundry soap?
I have found a laundry detergent that works, that I'm not allergic to, and it's just unscented from the natural food section. And that would probably be the only thing that it's weird because I make all of my house cleaners as well.
I do too.
Um, so when I look around, I just see this like wealth because I'm just like, yeah, I know it's so easy. I'm just like dependent. I'm independent of, needing these like all these aisles in the grocery store. I am independent of, like, I don't even need them. I don't have to walk down them. I don't have to go there. And that makes me proud. Like, I really like that.
It's funny because I've made my own soap for years for laundry, 'cause
Okay.
I kept thinking, I'm like, gosh, and it just seemed like a natural progression to go, why don't I make body soap or hand soap or cleaner for my house? And then it just kind of evolved, right? Like, it's funny how the laundry soap started, and oh my gosh, yeah, I think it's just I can't even remember anymore. It's a bar that I grind and
Yeah.
like borax and something else. It's like they're ancient, like my grandma used to use them, right? Like
Yeah. And that's just it. It's like a series. We're just coming right back to the beginning. A
Mhm.
lot of us do it because we're like, we don't really need anything else. This is so simple, like this.
And we're out in the woods like you guys are. We work really, really hard. Our clothes get dirty, really dirty from being out in the woods and doing the things that we do. And the one thing that I noticed is, my husband is such a hunter and none of his clothes can smell, right?
Yeah.
This soap that I make for the laundry doesn't have any kind of fragrance to it at all. Zero. So there's no humanness, no perfumes, no scent in the woods, because that's like such a big deal for hunters. Like, God love them. They can't smell me. I got to spray this stuff on me, and I got to have this little machine that hangs outside where I'm sitting that like neutralizes the air. And yeah, it's funny.
I'm just picturing him putting deer pee on him or something.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah. He hangs it in the tree around him and all that kind of thing. Yeah, it's not.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's to camouflage the human scent. And man, if you got to pee out in the woods, like you go take a hike for a mile and then you pee and then you come back. Like
Oh,
you just don't go outside. You're blind and yeah, no. Oh
Oh
no.
God.
Oh no, that will massively cut your odds on being successful.
Oh my goodness, that's
Oh,
funny.
Roz said she's made soaps from beef fat and lye. Huh. Interesting.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm all over it. Soap is a it's a there's a really fine craft to actually making good soap. So I've
Yeah.
never actually gone down that route. But for all of those that have, I congratulate you because it's like one of those staples in our lives, and we have to have it.
I know. I know. Like our first experience making soap. Good morning, Tiffany. It's good to see you. Um, um, it is a craft, right? Like the soap makers, like they have absolutely refined it. Not only have they figured out how to get the process and the texture and the consistency, but then they've made it pretty too. You know,
Yes.
like when they like actually embed those pieces of cedar or those lavender pieces or like a
The
rose
swirls.
petal. Yeah, are there swirls in it? Yeah, you know.
Yeah, well, my friend Kelly, who I'll drop the links to, she does these beautiful soaps, and she'll even make like a beer soap too. She's like
Yeah,
got it
somebody that makes
down
yeah.
so good. And actually, the 2 weeks ago, she dropped off a milk bath for me, a Reiki infused milk bath. So I took that. I was like, oh my God, this is the best present ever. So I take it up to my bath, and because of you, and you're like, go get your rose quartz and put it in your bath. Okay, so I did that, and that's sitting there, and I'm like, just like goosh. And I was like, oh, this is the most lovely bath that I have taken in forever. And I just wanted to be in that room for a really long time because it was just so luxurious. I'm just like, I take a lot of, it really affects me, these lovely little gestures, even when they're just suggestions, because you can take them and make them your own, but they really are just glorious when you actually put them into action.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
it's it's we don't often take care of ourselves as women, you know, and we need to and we get to do that way more often than we do, and it's it it really revitalizes you, it refreshes you, it brings you back to new, you know what I mean? It like brings you back into the game.
Oh,
like
yeah.
like it's almost by the time we actually go, man, I need some self-care. Like how long have I been sitting on the bench?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And then it takes so long to come back. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't like being in that place either because you're always trying to play catch up. And, the more, so, I mean, I try to like pull it in different ways. So maybe it's just even like a tiny, like I have gratitude all day long for the amazing things that are in my life. And I just try and keep going back to gratitude because that will make me wake up and become present in the now. Yeah. Yeah. Because yeah, and then when we can just like double up on that, and even if it's just like, oh, I'm super grateful for that, and then you turn and you go find your essential oil that you're in love with that day, and
Mhm.
you at least take a smell, you can get your brain to start, to relax. Like you're now back into a different place. And actually, Alison Quadhammer put on a post the other day, and I love this because I love brain plasticity and the fact that we can take ourselves from one situation and actually heal ourselves and create this new situation. And she was talking about, she's brilliant. Let's just start with that.
Let's
But
just
what she was,
capitally on the
uh,
brilliant.
yeah, and what she was talking about was, when you're in a really stressful situation, this is like a trauma in your life. And by just taking yourself out of it and changing one thing and doing something different, anything different, that you can start healing and create that, well, the plasticity is already there, but you can like use that catalyst to change the way that things are happening in your life. And I really needed to hear that at that very moment because I get caught in patterns. And last week was a big, big reveal of this is the pattern you're caught in. let's tear the screen away and let's find you a new path because, you know, the way that you want to show up, you want it to be different, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and then, hey, Allison, and then she literally wrote it right into existence, you know, just go and do something different, change the way that you're doing it. And yes, of course, that was brilliant, right? We forget.
We do. I know Tiffany says we can't deplete ourselves back to the point of factory settings. We got to do the updates. That's awesome, Tiffany.
Yeah, right?
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, and yeah, I love reading Allison's stuff, and like so often it's just like a brick in the center of my head, like really. Like
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like
And
calling it
it's
what
not,
it is, like really putting it out there that all right, sister, you better be looking at your stuff like right now. And this is what you got to do. Like yeah,
yeah. But then you know what? It's all like, I mean, she's a doctor.
yep,
This isn't just her going off.
right.
It's it's because she actually knows, and she is letting us all know, you know, very frankly, what is up. And I like that.
I like
And the thing is that she's got a big family, and she loves to spill on the amazing things that are happening inside her family. And just the contrast between the two is just so rewarding.
mhm.
Yeah, I find that, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'd call her Frank. I would she's a little bit more than Frank, and I love it.
I'm being really nice because I don't want Allison after
You know,
me.
it's nice. She has I call that, like, massive feedback. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is life feedback and resetting, and in like, it's not, um there's no vile vengeance or negativity to it at all. It's just, "Hey, people, I'm here to help you check yourself because I love you."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, and, yeah, Frank might be putting it a little softly for
Okay.
Allison. Dr. Allison, by the way. Yeah, she's amazing, and if you guys don't follow Allison, you get to. You get to go hang out in her space and be with her and, you know, really pick up on what she's talking about because she does know. Um, yeah, Tiffany, the sad thing is we know we know this stuff. We nurture others through these processes all the time. What's our deal, ladies? I know that's so true. Yep, we do nurture everybody else, and ourselves end up at the end of the line, right?
Yeah, and that's, you know, that point of just like being vulnerable. And I am learning that in the Brené Brown Dare to Lead book, which I have opened up a book club for. Some people jumped in. I'm going to repost it again this week just in case anybody else wants to jump in. But that being vulnerable and just saying, hey, this is what's going on. This is where I'm stumbling this week. You know, obviously I've got some clear boundaries with that, but it also allows other people to just say, hey, yeah, I'm feeling the same thing, or not so much, or this is what I did to make it better. And I love all of the feedback that I'm seeing around just in people's lives and how they are being vulnerable, because it allows other people to really identify and get real with what is happening and stop kind of playing in the shadows of their life.
Yeah, you know, and Brené's another like Allison reminds me a lot of Brené Brown. As far as they'd put Frank to shame.
Yeah, right?
Um,
Holy moly.
Yeah, holy moly! Like, don't put either one of those ladies with Frank in the same room because Frank would lose. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And you know, Brene is so like spot on. And I think her book came out at the most opportune time
Yeah.
in our world. Like in our world, that we are seeing so many more. You know, I don't want to go whole left on this, but as female leaders, we need examples like Brene Brown out there that are doing it integrally and with the right reasons and um, with the right meaning, and going forward with integrity and not vile vengeance. I don't know why that word came out twice today already. But so many end up being vile, and that doesn't help. It's not conducive. It doesn't solve any problems. But being real and true.
Yeah, and she says clear is kind, and I try to be very clear when I'm speaking exactly what my boundaries are. And sometimes that doesn't always work. Like some people are not hearing you. Yeah, and that doesn't have anything to do with you, but you do have to come right back and be more clear and be ready to rumble and embrace the suck, which is where I always just stopped. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go back to my cave because it's so much safer back there.
Right.
And this is a big learning thing for me, and so I'm so embracing the suck right now. And I make it look like it's fun, but it's not fun, but it's necessary, and it's actually pushing me forward into a whole new scape that I love more. So yeah, I get what I want, actually.
And I love that, and I love that term that she uses, that embrace the suck,
Yeah.
because and you said it, and I'm going to just reinforce it. It's not easy to go through these shifts and these changes.
No.
We're excited. We know we're changing. We know that we're shifting. We know that we're leveling up. We know that there's big, awesome things on the other side of the suck, right? The other side of this that's going on right now, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that right now is for you, whenever that is.
Yeah.
And trudging through, it's like I just see like you got the cute little rain shoes on, and then next thing you go to the little higher mid calf cute little rubber boots, and they still got the little flowers and the paintings on them, and then next thing you got your knee high, these are I call them muckers here where we live, but they're up to your knee. Now they don't have flowers on them anymore, and you're wading through some nasty pond scum crap in the field, whatever you're wading through, right? And then next thing you got hip ones on, and then you got the suspenders on, and that you're right, like the rubber just gets bigger, like until you're through.
Yeah. Oh God, is that? Yeah, and that's the thing, like learning to actually rumble in a really great way takes skill, and it takes practice, and it takes commitment, and it takes like getting in and getting gritty and dirty and bloody and messy, and that's the only way to do it with the other people that are doing it too, and that is fucking scary.
Yep. And here's the thing, it's like you've gone through it before, not this right now, but you've gone through stuff, hard things, qualifiers, right? Like you've gone through hard qualifiers in life, like whether it was a math test in second grade, whether it was, the first school dance, whether it was, right? Like the qualifiers, and it was really, really hard right then. And then poof, you made it, right? And this thing now is your next qualifier of life, right? Like this is your journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you get to. Yeah, grit is required. Absolutely 100%, Tiffany. Say just strap on the scuba gear and dive in. Yep. Go swim in the shark.
Full neoprene, we're going in.
Full on jump off. I want to go ride like motorcycles on a motocross though, or like go take a spin around the track at 250 miles an hour again. Or
oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Or jump out of a hot air balloon. I don't know. Something fun.
God.
Like
that sounds terrifying to me.
I don't think I'd ever bungee jump though. Like what's one thing that you would never, ever, ever, ever do?
Yeah, I probably would never jump out of a plane. I'm just not that kind. Like, I don't know. I've got 3 kids now and my brain doesn't work the same way anymore. So like these high fear things, just don't do it. I just don't. But I would love, oh my God, I would love to be hiking straight up to the top of a mountain right now. And as grueling as that would be, I would just love to see the vista at the top. Like, I don't know, I haven't done that in so long, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think like right now if I could, I don't know what I wouldn't do. I don't bungee jumping to me has like zero draw bungee jumping, like off of a bridge or something like that. But I would jump out of a plane. That is on my list. Yeah, is to jump out of a plane. I also want to learn how to drive a backhoe because I don't know how to do that either. I know. I know that's super funny, but like I really want to know how to drive those great big excavators and those like dig a hole. I want to know how, and I want to do it, and I want to do it good. Like I don't just want to like half do it. I want to do it. I know, I know, I know. Deep sea diving is awesome. I've been deep sea diving. I scuba dived for years, so that's
Oh.
Tiffany's on here. And my daughter just like she called me after she hit the ground, but she just skydived over Chicago. And she's like, I think I want to do it full time. I'm gonna look into gear.
Oh. Oh, I used to be such a rebel too. Like I did. Like I just do stupid things all the time. And now I've just got it out of my system. I'm like, ugh, I'm not even interested anymore. Jumping off of things isn't really one of my, yeah, not on the list.
Rafting scared the hooey out of me too. Like I first time I ever white rafted, I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. I just said, okay, we're going to do this 2-day trip down this river. And they said something about class 5 rapids. I don't know what that means, but this is fun with a bunch of girls. Yeah. Yeah. When they started putting like wetsuits on us, like warm suits and wool socks and I'm like, why are we putting these on? They're like, cause there's ice floating in the river still. It's cold. You'll get hypothermia if you fall out. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
You know, and there's big chunks. They're like basketball sized chunks of ice floating down the river with us. I'm like,
Oh my God. Yeah. Wow. That's, yeah, intense.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
That like spurs the adrenaline and it just goes, okay. And then it was like, I'll do that again.
The most fun I had actually this summer was rolling down a hill with my 3-year-old, and I forgot how much fun it is to just get whipped around like that. And I was like, "Oh, that's really easy. Just go and roll down the hill."
Down the hill and laugh and just
Yeah.
laugh.
Oh, I couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny. I don't know. That's just kids are so.
Just be a kid. Cool. Cool. What else you want to talk about this morning? We got a couple minutes left.
Oh goodness, I feel like we've covered so much. Yeah.
I know.
No, this is good. I have nothing else.
Yeah, you guys, if you want reminders to when we're on, just type live in the comments and Illibot will whip you a little reminder just before we're on live. If you guys want information about our directory, we've talked about that lots of times. We're changing the name of it. It is a directory, but we're calling it the Collective. We'll drop links into that. You can go check that out. There's been some changes and some upgrades and some rerouting of some things and the layout and how we are offering that. So we can drop those links in here too. And yeah, we love people in our group. So if you guys think about people that you think would be a great match for the Illustrious Ones Facebook group, don't just add them. Okay. Like invite them, like grab the link, say, hey, I think this group would be awesome for you. And send them over because there's some gallery questions when they come in to make sure that they are a good fit for our Facebook group. So we just don't want our Facebook group to blow up and have like 3,000 people that we don't know them and whether or not we can serve them or not. We want people that are actually in there. We want people that are going to participate, and we want people that we can help and serve and support in there. So if you guys have people in your circle that you think would be a good fit for our Facebook group, we'd love to meet them too. So what else, Jen Weatherly?
Now I'm really lit up with some big ideas that I've had this weekend, and I've been taking notes on different ideas that I have in a new way. So I'm just really just kind of getting into this new, it feels different. And I'm operating in a bit of a different way. And I'm really excited about my future. So that's it. I don't know. I'm just excited about this stuff. And I'm happy for everyone that came in and joined us. Thank you for anybody that's watched the replay. And yeah, I don't know. This is a fun little week, and it's been a really weird week, but I think it's rolling into something really incredible. So yeah, there's that.
I love it. I love it. I've loved spending this morning. I love Monday mornings with you. So
Yeah,
I love this. I love this show. I love kicking my week off with goodness. I love kicking it off kind of with a fire up, and let's go hit the week with some goodness, and we can tackle this. And yeah, I love it. I love everybody that's been on this morning. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Sometimes we never know what we're going to talk about. And this morning we got talking about self-care and products that are good for us, and how we can go about getting those and doing those things for ourselves in little ways, like your soap and your lotion. That's where this
yes.
morning went. That's where this morning went. So self-care, as far as just making sure you're putting good products on your body that are not putting synthetics in and on our biggest organ that we have, that is our skin. So
Yeah.
just bringing a little medical back front and center for you, in case you didn't know that your skin was your biggest organ. Dr. Dr. Allison
Yeah.
will connect. Awesome. Well, hey, you guys go hit your week. Go get another cup of coffee or tea or whatever you do to keep your morning going strong. And it's been Jen and Erin this morning. We come on live every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time with just a little goodness for you to jump your week off strong. So if you want to be part of us, make sure you reach out to us. We'd love to have a conversation with you and get you going. So
Yeah.
Thanks, Jen. Have a great week.
And you too, and everyone as well. Everybody have a great week, because it's going to be fabulous. I can tell right now.
It's going to be fun. Cheers.
Bye.
See you later, everybody.